Yes, yes, Vasco and Disco beer review with me, Disco, coming at you with another beer video from in front of the cans and bottles here in the bar. I'm still laughingly calling the Disco Arms. I'm often heard to say on these videos and lives that generally with a beer that focuses specifically on a hop, I'm not too interested. It doesn't really suit my palate. I prefer a much more balanced across the board kind of approach. I bought this beer though, thinking it's probably a good idea to have a look at some kind of hop beers characteristics. I was looking at single hop beers, and this one's a Simcoe Pale. It's called Analog Odyssey, as you can see there, from Point Brew Co, often featured on this channel by me, favourite brewery. I bought it because I thought it was a single hop beer. I thought it was a Simcoe Pale, because that's what it says on the can. But on reading the notes on the back, which actually say, I'll read them out: lemon and pine from a heavy dose of Simcoe, Nelson Sauvignon and Centennial hops, citrus, spice and all things nice. So there's more than just one hop in there, so I may or may not be learning too much from different hop characteristics, but obviously they say what to look out for. Don't mind citrus, especially if it's kind of lemony. Not a big fan of pine, but some spiciness does sound rather nice. So without further ado, let's get into a glass and see what I can find. Of course, that glass will be my favoured Turning Point pint glass. Pours into the glass a nice lemon yellow, fairly pale. It's actually much paler to the naked eye than probably on the camera there. Gone a bit too over enthusiastic maybe on the pour. But it is still quite lively. It's been in my stash probably a little bit too long. Bought it a few months back and not got around to doing it, but looks pretty good. There's a fair bit of carbonation rising up from the centre of the glass. It does look good, so let's have a look, see what I can get. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, a nice balance of lemon. There is a, I would say possibly kind of savoury kind of more sort of herb. I'm thinking sage, I don't know why, something like that. But it's definitely a nice citrusy lemon aroma coming off that. Well pleased with that. So that's a good start. Let's see what I can get on the taste. Cheers. Ooh. Okay. Yeah, straight out of the fridge. Still tasting fairly fresh. Oh, big note of pine, I would say. Definite pine right on the back. Still citrus and lemon up front. I would say it's balanced. There is a balance to it. It's two halves. Not too much on the juiciness. It doesn't. There's no sort of like pineapple or mango or other kind of tropical juiciness there. A little bit of dankness from that pine. I have a suspicion that Simcoe is another one of those that produces that kind of piney, grapefruity earthiness that I don't like. There's not so much of a hit on that on this one. Oh, there's that big. Yeah, it's kind of a little bit of grapefruit right on the back end on the gas, because it's quite well carbonated. The bubbles are still rising up. I don't know if you can see that. This camera going to be good enough to pick that out. Yeah, you can see all the bubbles rising up the glass there. Carbonation racing, as I called it way back. I don't think to race it, but yeah, those bubbles are racing up the glass. Looks good. Looks great in the glass. I'm going back. That pininess and slight grapefruit citriness is kind of testing my palate. It's not one I massively enjoy. Still, as I always say, I think that's a good beer. It's got a certain amount of balance to it, but it's going towards that pininess and grapefruit and that kind of earthiness. But it's just kind of muted in that, not muted, but it's just not quite aggressive enough to trouble my palate. It is testing it. It's something that I can drink. Ahead on that, again, with the carbonation is staying. There's some good spots of lacing on it too, so that will travel down the glass pretty well, I think. As I say, big fan of Turning Point beers generally. I don't know if I've learned anything about Simcoe specifically on that, because it's not, because of all the addition of the other hops in there as well. It is interesting to try. I do think I should test my palate a bit more and try these different hops and see what I can find. I will drink that. It is perfectly drinkable. Not one I'd go back for, because of that, like I say, the earthy, grapefruity pininess to it. But a good beer, worth a try. And as I say, hashtag always learning. Let me know what you think in the comments. Please like and subscribe, and hang around till after the end credits. Click on the cards for some other videos if you haven't seen them already. Thanks very much indeed for watching. Enjoy the beers. Cheers.